Hey, what is going on, everybody? Boilon here, and welcome back to another event video here on Marvel Strike Force. We are here today for not Guardian, but we're here for Northstar. I was trying to get him as the featured character, but just wouldn't go. But anyways, his event is going to be starting on Monday. How much energy have you hoarded ahead of this event? I know by the time this goes live, because this video is going live on Sunday, but the event is on Monday, of course, and I'm probably going to have over 4,000 energy by the time that event hits. We're going to talk about exactly why. Hopefully that you caught some of my other videos this past week talking about the event and what value that this is going to have for you. So if you want to know more and how you're going to be able to ace this event, then you know what to do. Let's boil this down. Now, before we get started with the main event, there's one thing that I do want to say really quickly is that if you guys could hit that like and subscribe button down below, there is still about 50% of you out there who watch my videos who are not actually subscribed to my channel. Normally I say this at the end, but I'm going to bring this up towards the beginning so that maybe some of you will help out and click those buttons. So if you forgot, even if you watch my videos a lot, please do click that subscribe button. Thank you, everybody. And just a recap for June, we are entering week 3 of the month of June, and the points are looking pretty good so far for the month long, and I expect we're going to be well over 800,000, which is good. And I think that week 4 really is going to be all about, I guess, spreading out the leaderboard in terms of the, spreading out the leaderboard above 800k. I think that's why they're going well above it this time. So we're at about 770,000 more or less after week 3. That's not saying that's where you should be at. That's just like what the total number known so far is going to be. So once we add in week number 4, my guess is it'll be at least 880,000 probably, but we'll see, because like this week was about 120k. So it'll probably be something like that. So we're only 31k from the end of the milestone, which is great. We should have no problems getting that. Let's talk about the event guiding light. Now, before we do that, actually, I'm going to talk very briefly about Shining Star. Now, this one is the Alliance milestone that's going to be going live. That is the ISO 8 energy spending. Now, there is no cap. It is a 5-day event, but we can just take a general look at like where we expect to be, right? Normally, we get the dog tags and all the currency and all that. So we're going to get some Peter B. Parker shards and probably some Spider-Man Pav shards here. Beyond that, I'm almost thinking that these Penny Parker shards down here probably won't be viable. But if it is, great, because there's also 1,000,000 gold in there. But I don't know, because it's right before the red milestones, and we don't normally get any close to that. And that's also a Mega Gold Orb, which I think is probably out of reach. The Sunfire shards, great if you're a newer player, but otherwise for everyone else, most of this stuff doesn't have insane value. There's a little bit of gold in here, but I think that's just making up for some of the gold that they've actually taken away through other manners, like in the login calendars and things like this. So I'm not sure if that's really all that great. But anyways, that's the Alliance milestone there. Also want to talk about the leaderboard for this event guiding light. It's going to be very, very important. Actually, I'm really liking this one because it's not mutant, even though I love mutant gear, but we've had 2 mutant leaderboards, I think, or maybe 2 or 3. So we definitely could use a bio one, because this is the first time that we've had a bio G19 leaderboard. So we're going to get 50 Crimson Molecular Scans and 50 Crimson Marrow Extracts if you hit the 1 to 3%. And hopefully, if you follow everything in this video, and also maybe from last week when I talked about hoarding for this event, you should have no problems hitting that. So let's get on over to the first web milestone. I'm just going to cover this really quickly as well. We're going to gloss over this in the math. It's very easy to do. You have to earn Alliance credits. 2,500 is extremely easy to do for 7 days. All you have to do is go into your Alliance donations. It's actually like the first 3 boxes. 300 plus you get 150 for your daily objective. So those 3 boxes plus the daily objective, that would be 450 a day. More than enough to clear 2,500 in 7 days. Honestly, the 4th box is overkill. Most people are going to have the 4th box, in fact, so you don't need to core or do anything crazy to get this done. And actually, what's really great about this one too is that it has tons of orange L4 training modules. The orange ones, 700 for the last 2 milestones. That's about 7 million gold worth of training modules. So for newer and mid-game accounts, especially who need training modules, or frankly anyone who needs the modules, it's going to be quite good. I think that's very, very good, and I'm looking forward to this on my alt account. In total, there's 8,000 direct milestone points and 8,000 orb fragments. We're going to add that to the end total when we get there in terms of how many estimated shards for Northstar that we should be getting. And also, if you hoarded extra energy, there's going to be multiple scenarios to go over. So let's take a look at the guiding light milestone itself. It's a mixed bag because we're going to... I meant to say mixed release. I don't know why I said mixed bag. So there is Northstar shards directly in the milestone, and there are some further Whalestone Northstar shards down here, which is not going to happen. So milestone 13, I believe it is here with the event item, and then there's 15 Northstar shards just after it. That's pretty much the goal for like most of the free-to-play players and people who didn't really hoard in advance. You know, that's where I would expect people to land. Other than that, there is some of his, stuff that you would normally see in character release events. There's some luminium in here of various different colors, purple, orange, and there is some teal down here. I don't think that we're going to get the 30 augmented luminium unless you've done some substantial hoarding, but that's okay. It's not that big of a deal, and 1,000 diamond orb fragments. Some of this dark diamonds, not a lot, but I guess every little bit will help. And there's some I think this is 18 or is it 17? I think this is 17. The phytonutrients and the chaotic ribosomes, it's not really that great. They really need to kind of like push this down a little bit and make it, because 18 is pretty easy by now, honestly. So it should be easier to obtain than being up here at like milestone 16 for G18. It's kind of crazy if you ask me, because they're pretty easy to get now by buying the teal epic orb, and you can get them. All this gear, all this teal stuff is very easy to get in the raid store. So let's move on to the main event of the actual math here. Let's go back over here. You can hear my dog jingling in the background maybe as he moves into my room, of course. So Guiding Light is a 7-day event that includes Alliance War, campaign energy, Alliance donations, and bonus points for blitzing with Alpha Flight. It's literally just do one blitz if you have any of the characters unlocked: Northstar, Guardian, or Sasquatch. Now, Guardian and Sasquatch are not going to be free to play available during this event. It's only going to be Northstar, who you'll eventually unlock. The total milestone points required for this is 225,000. Of course, we're not going to get there. The event item is 63,000. This is milestone 13. There is a total of 90 Northstar shards in that milestone, but only 60 of them are reasonable, which you can get at milestone 14. Or 73,000 milestone points. So this is pretty much the goal. 73k is the goal. The free claims we don't know yet, but of course, when I post this table on my Discord server on Monday, when the event goes live, I'll have all of that updated there as well, including the updated estimated value of the orb, which we don't have. So I'm going to do a conservative estimate of that in order to get the kind of number of shards that we should expect. Total web milestone, like I said, is 16,000 points there. 8,000 from the milestone points directly, and then 8,000 orb fragments, or 4 orbs to open towards Northstar shards. We talked about this with the Alliance credits. It's very easy to do. You just need to get the 3 donation boxes and do your dailies. So when you play one war battle, you get 1,000 points, and that's 24,000 limit. So that's 24 war battles. So you need to make sure that you do 8 per war, or 12 on 2 wars, and you can skip a third one if you really want, or you don't play it, but whatever. You do need to get 24 war attacks done over the week. Make sure you do that. A battle in blitz with Northstar. So once you do unlock them, just do one blitz and you usually get 1,000 points. That's fine. We've included that into the grand total as well, at least for the milestone points. There's no orb fragments associated with any of these things. You're going to get some additional points for all of the Alpha Flight characters at 4,000, 6,000, and 8,000 for 5, 6, and 7 star, but I'm not including that for obvious reasons because that's kind of Whalestone-ish. And then that's repeated again for Guardian and Sasquatch. So I didn't want to kind of flood the table here by repeating every single line. You're going to earn 1 Radiant Flight Orb Fragment from spending your campaign energy. That's a 1-to-1 as far as the points go. The points, the actual ratio, we never really know. They never tell us this. And it's really frustrating, but we kind of have to make an educated guess. And so the way that I do that is I normally see where, at different values, where the total number of points that we have line up with the event item and the shards, those milestone 14, 13, 14 kind of range to see what's acceptable from a 200 core perspective, because that's kind of what they bench their events at. So I've actually landed on a 4-to-1. It's possible that this could be 3-to-1, but I'm fingers crossed, right? We'll see 3 or 4, but I'm saying 4. And if it's less than that, we're going to get some less shards. That's basically what it means. So this is your daily campaign energy, 1100. This is based on this stuff above. I've already talked about this in other event videos. Over 7 days, that would be about 31,000 orb fragments at a 4-to-1 ratio. Now, there's going to be two different scenarios that we're going to be talking about. Scenario A, which is based on 200 cores daily, and there's also going to include some prior hoarding as well. And then scenario B is 400 cores daily. I have not done a 600 core scenario because I believe that if you did a prior energy hoarding, which is what I mentioned in previous videos, you shouldn't need to go that high. The point of the energy hoarding actually is to not have to spend as much cores. And so instead of doing 400 cores for 7 days, I'm doing 200 cores probably, because I don't think the extra value for 100 core refreshes is very good. So you want to stay within that 50 range, which is what I did during my hoarding period as well. So reasonable point total for 200 cores daily, 72,000. That's without the free claim. And this is with, of course, a 4-to-1 energy to orb ratio. Energy to fragment ratio, rather, gets you to milestone 14. Now, the points with 4,000 energy hoarded, really it's just taking that 4,000 that you've hoarded prior to the event, times it by 4, because that's the number for the ratio there. Basically an extra 16,000 points or an extra 8 orbs, which we'll talk about a little bit further down here. So 88,000 points, and that does get you the extra milestone 15. Now, again, you want to push, make sure that you're pushing for the leaderboard. That's really important. So the score does matter. Total orb fragments, if you do 200 cores daily, this is going to be about 39,000 orb fragments, or 19.5 without the free claim. It's probably like an extra orb or two with the free claim. So it'll be a little bit higher than this. Total potential shards is 138 based on an estimated value of 4. Now, this could be low. It could be a little bit higher. We've seen ranges between 4 and like 5.5. I think we've seen as low as 3.5 one time. So it could vary a little bit. I've decided on 4 just because it's an easy flat number. So it could be better than this, or could be a little bit worse. I hope not. Now, this is not with the hoarding, though. This is with hoarding. So this is an extra 8 orbs basically on top of that, and times by 4 is essentially 32 shards. 8 times 4 is 32 shards. So 170 at 200 cores daily if you hoard, 138 if you do 200 cores daily and you don't hoard. Now, scenario B is 400 cores daily, not hoarding and hoarding. We'll take a look. 78,000. It's pretty much the same mile. It's an extra 6,700 points overall, or 6,700 fragments. That's what the extra 200 cores daily is worth. Basically, going from 200 to 400 daily during the event is going to give you like an extra 3 orbs. It's not a lot for the amount of extra cores that you're actually running, but it's entirely up to you. And of course, you know, if you feel that you're being tight on the leaderboard, then you might want to do that potentially. If you do the 4K energy hoarding, or if you had that much, you'll get to milestone 15 as well. You can see a difference of 6,700 from this value up here. Now, total orb fragments for that one is going to be 45, almost 46,000, to be honest. So it's almost 23 orbs without the free claim. It's going to be a little bit more with that, which gets you to about 151 shards at 4 shards per orb, or about 3.5 star at 400 cores daily without prior hoarding. If you had hoarded prior and you're doing 400 cores daily, you will get the 4 star. You probably will definitely get the 4 star, because it also includes, does not include the free claim, and it doesn't include the 5 shards that you got for free from the Friday free claim. And one, so there's a few shards missing here as well. So I think that if you, this is probably I might end up doing this, to be honest. I really want to push my Northstar because I did unlock him early, so I want to get him to. I want to get him to 5 star. So I want to get like 200-ish shards, so I can add that onto what I already have and hopefully get to the 5-star Northstar. That's kind of my goal. So I may end up pushing the 400 cores daily throughout this event, and I did the hoarding just so I can push my way up to 5-star. Now, some final notes that I want to talk about. This is based on a 4.0 estimated value. The orbs do range actually anywhere from 3 and a bit to 5. So the actual orb could be better than my current math. It could also be worse. So fingers crossed. I would keep an eye out on my Discord. This is where I'm going to post the kind of updated fully. If anything changes, I will post that version of that on my Discord server alongside the estimated value of the orb when that goes live on 2 p.m. So I'm going to be doing that as well. The event itself is actually very easy, but to further the leaderboard towards 1 to 3%, you are going to want to spend cores on campaign energy. that is their main free to play input. That's the only way that you can really influence your milestone points and therefore influence the leaderboard, is specifically through more campaign energy. But more energy equals more orb fragments, which also equals more Northstar shards. So actually, this event has more value for your cores because it's both character shards and the leaderboard rank. The leaderboard rank is very important, like I mentioned earlier on, because it includes G19 bio minis for the very first time, whether that's for your Super Scroll or whether that's just for any other character that you want to build that's bio Peter V. Parker, whoever else that you're Void Knight, whatever, for your Dark Dimension 7 chase. So that's going to be it for now. That's going to be Guiding Light. Let me know in the comments down below how you're doing with your energy and what your plans are for this event. Like I said, I really want to push my Alpha Flight shards as much as I possibly can. I'd really like to get to 5-star, honestly, by the end of this event, but that's only because I unlocked them a little bit early. Otherwise, there's going to be, of course, battle passes and strike passes for the characters over the next month anyways, like there normally is for the characters. So that's the end of this video, everybody. And until next time, stay safe and healthy, and I'll see you all later. Boilon signing out.